Yeah, no, got to go all around the world for it. Ellis, the man himself, the man that can call for the rotation from PLX if he so chooses, but it's the farm right here. Sees a man, a smoke put out, easy defense, but now try and lock him with the bomb plant. There is Logart staying alive, still up, gets the plant as well, and there they swing in. Last man alive is Zeep, and just put down like that.
Yeah, Wicked with only going into that round with Glocks, I think 2 kills and a bomb plant, they could be pretty happy with that. Going into the 3rd round with a really good buy now, especially off of that bomb plant. They could even get an off-out if they so choose. And moving into that T side of Ancient, this first gun round can mean a lot.
Absolutely. And I don't know, you got to see it cooked up here. You know, I would sort of argue, Frack, that currently when you have the pool and the economy like it is, you know, the major about to be underway. So maybe some changes to be made to something after all this is said and done. But right here, when you have Anubis in its current state, I would say maybe slightly the only sided map that you still have in the pool. Obviously, people will feel a certain type of way about something, but obviously Wicked have to rise up here. They have to take their chances out right now, because we know the defense can just be slightly more, a little bit difficult. Obviously, this goes along, but all in, they do have some of the weak links still up. Full nades on that, and MJB can look, and Andrew will strike. Doesn't have the AWP, but the AK will do all right.
Yeah, Wicked taking that man advantage early on here. That boost always either tried to be spotted out or kind of just countered. As we see Ellis tucked way back into this site. He's going to try and fall back. He's actually going to expect the cross coming, but Logart with the quick flank comes in with the backstab. It's now into a 2-man advantage for Wicked, and for Xiaoma, they could still kind of poke around at this, but this is going to be a hard retake for them if they can't find something within the first, like, 10, 15 seconds. But K2 kind of already making that decision, maybe verbally or not, but we see him kind of just post up, waiting for some exits, getting a crossfire set up with Merkin as well. And I think this is going to be Wicked finally finding themselves some footing. And again, like you said, an all-important first rifle round.
Yeah, Xiaoma saving here is absolutely the right decision. Merkin and PLX both able to drop over some rifles going into the next round. MJB and Ellis will need it. And Merkin saving almost full utility, actually full utility on all 3 of those players. Definitely going to help build that eco back up. And I think generally talking about sided maps here, I think CS2 has felt a lot more T-sided, I would say, in general.
Yeah, generally, for sure.
Especially, I mean, you lose the bomb plant, or you lose the pistol round, but get the bomb plant, and oftentimes you're winning that second round.
Do you think that's more from a financial standpoint that's T-sided, or is it like a combination of like the run and gun meta that's slowly eased and kind of in and out of the CS2?
I think the faster, more aggressive meta definitely helps the T-side on a lot of these maps, but I think financially, just because you have 3 less rounds to play with, that extra $400 you're spending on a kit, that extra $400 you might be spending on an A4 really comes back to bite you in some of these close rounds.
Which really leans into the success of opening pistol rounds as well, so you can actually compound and start actually building up a little safety net of money. And I mean, leaning further into it, would you consider, you know, Anubis a necessary map where you need an op?
I think you can definitely get away without it on both sides. Rifles are very strong in the current meta, but with recent changes to Pika's advantage, I think the op is a lot stronger than it used to be. But
the rifles, Frack, you're talking about them stronger, but it's always stronger in the hands of Mason, it seems, right? You saw Austin ripping it off. You have to frag in this situation, and there is Merkin up and around, getting it onto Zeep. MJB right into the fray, a 3v3, and a kit every back on this retake. Right here, the Molly barely missing the mark. Logart, I don't know if they're going to know about your position, but we were talking about Mason as one of the highlights at this basin. Right here, they can go huge and just try and lurch in when they want. K2, fresh meat, put in the dirt, and PLX, I don't know if you want to attempt this one like that, but when it gets close, the hearts are certainly beating like that.
Yeah, great performance. Almost nailed the spray transfer. Mason with a great entry there. Merkin with some trades. MJB on top of it. Mason just can't be stopped. 3 in the round right there. But Logart to close it out. And we are all tied back up. And this is exactly what we were talking about early on. A lot more competitive. You know, no flame to the teams prior to. But Wicked and Xiaoma are pretty much head-to-head right now. And this is really the kind of CS that we really love to see.
Yeah, absolutely. And I don't know, Frack. For me, in some of these rounds, it just comes down to little stuff like this. I think K2 actually, well, it's PLX that does have this flashbang. Gonna send the dogs looking for it in the flash right out. Andrew can go. But Frack, in some of these rounds now with the MR12 that we have, you got to take every single measure that you can. That's why you see Austin planting the bomb like this. But
I don't think
around
that's,
the corner like that.
Really the call to really do it.
That's the only op out of play.
Yeah, put the op on an island against a pistol. Like, you see one get one and rotate, but he stuck around and tried to be the hero for what real reason, honestly?
Very good stuff for Wicked there, but I don't know, man. Swiftly picked up. Op going to be recovered for it, so just shrug it off your shoulders for it. I guess shrug it off your elbow if you're K2.
Yeah, in the end, the op gets recovered, isn't able to be saved by the CT, so really no harm, no foul, but putting your op on an island against some of these pistols can get a little bit dangerous, especially if the CTs are able to save it.
Yeah, and I mean, CTs, arguably need the op more than the T side Anubis op is, I would say, not really too much a thing. So, if anything, it's just more detrimental for the CTs to potentially lose, and they're going to go straight back to this boost. Andrew found success, and with this T side op that said, I initially said wasn't really a thing, they could potentially get this opener, but we are going to see MJB playing pretty far back towards top mid here.
Absolutely. Does have a bit of a set on him, but is going to have to deliver the shots down range. Will have to maybe play the ball for the moment. Dodge a little bit. That's going to be in front of him because now, regardless, MJB through the smoke finds two. Shutting this back door right now, and Seif is going to have to look for exactly what remains. They don't care, though. Move on with your lives and worry about it later. In round number 6, K2, they're looking above, getting creative, but Wicked, they're going to be getting this plant in right now.
Yeah, Andrew with a lot of weight on his shoulders currently holding, waiting for somebody from that spawn, rotating in. Zeep might take the contact versus MJB, and if MJB falls, which he does, the rest of the CTs are going to try and flood in through connector now. 3 of them, Andrew taking 1 of them. K2 finds a trade, Andrew makes it a double. The T side op quite literally making me eat my words at the beginning of this round, and it opens wide up.
Yeah, MJB, you could see him in that round playing a little bit more passively mid, and I think that's a quick adjustment from him because he got punished earlier by that boost, lost that gunfight with the FAMAS, and interestingly, he decides to fall away towards Temple, kind of leaving his A player on that island, but able to swing through the smoke and get 2, makes the round a little bit more competitive, but in the end, it is Wicked with a 4th.
I just can't believe that, and I guess it's found right there at the end, but what a great attempt that comes out of the man himself. MJB doing his best right now, 101 ADR on this defense, but Wicked, this is what we were talking about. Once you get in rhythm with this T side, it only takes, this liquid setup that they have. They can dip right into camera if they want. They can deal with MJB, right? It's all up to Wicked right now to dictate where they're going to bring this play.
Yeah, we do see the only op here on the CT side, the only really upgrade other than Deagles, posting himself up, waiting for that crossover, but Austin going to be making his way up. It's going to be Deagles at close range, so this could go either way versus these AKs, unless Merkin gets caught with utility in hand, thankfully drops it, but now it's going to play who can play the smoke better, and of course Austin, the content king himself, finds that opening kill and gives Wicked a man advantage.
Pushing the envelope right through B main, and they will thread the needle with it, and that exactly will turn this car around. They have whipped it right through middle, just getting right here for K2 to make his own scenario, popping off into a 3v3 right now.
Yeah, PLX with the only saved gun really needed to find an opener for Xiaoma, and does find one over towards B main, but as soon as Wicked knows that that's where the op is, they're going to snap call to the other side of the map, and that's exactly what they do. Bomb now down on this A bomb site. K2 with a nice shot in mid there, but with 2 Deagles and an op on this retake and no kits, it's going to be hard. Maybe they can take a gun or 2, swinging out of CT. Logert with a nice spray down for 2, and this should just be another save call for PLX, but see if
Jane
Wicked
would be proud for sure. See
if Wicked allows him to keep that gun.
Yeah, this is exactly what the CTs really need. It is going to be a 5-to-2 round potentially coming here. PLX finding at least one more in the closing. He is being hunted by the other op here. Andrew close behind in tow, and he might get the timing as Austin going to round this corner. And he gets tagged, but matters not. Gets the kill, and Wicked now with an updated hold on, was that their logo though all along? No.
It's looking good either way, man.
Yeah.
Styling in those glasses for sure, but how many times can you potentially throw your head into the wall, Frack, before you have to finally take a full reset? I mean, saving this op over and over finally fails them, and I guess this is where they have to do it, but just on the teetering edge again.
Yeah, PLX had enough money, or the CT side had enough money to put an op back in the hands of PLX, but they're really lacking in some util here. Light util on PLX, and no, without a molly, that could be definitely detrimental. But we're going to see an adjusted setup here, a little bit heavier in towards mid, and with a better rotate towards A is MJB tucked up by these double doors. Meanwhile, Wicked looking to take some A main space. 2 players over here.
Merkin gonna buy himself some time here with that smoke, but not for much longer if they choose to force the issue. Slow inching forward. K2 posted up with an AUG. I don't know how you guys feel, but I'm an AUG lover. Logert, of course, finding his in the round, opening up the site and instantly breaking it open for the T side. They're going to rotate right back in. There is going to be alert coming in from Zeep. He hasn't yet left his side of the map as Mason going to stick this bomb down. And this should be now a retake. And with the money here, Xiaoma could arguably call this early, and that's kind of is what it's feeling like right now.
Oh no.
Yeah, this A-bomb site.
Mojo maybe, Frack? I don't know, man.
This A-bomb site's been the real weak point for the Xiaoma side so far, and I'd love to see them maybe have PLX with that op if he has that spawn, maybe walk up A main, take Logert out of that round early. He's been a real problem for them, just walking into A site, getting a kill or two, and Wicked capitalizing off of it again with a quick A split, getting a 6th round now.
Well,
sometimes you gotta let the crowd breathe a little bit. I'm not sure if
I really hope that the mics pick that up.
Absolutely.
Someone's got to say it, right?
Some of the best out here entirely, and I think we got the next groups rolling in. I think I see Fisher College in the mix. Everybody getting going here. I think those starting right after we get these initials done around maybe 3 or 4, but we'll see how the day rolls on for it. Obviously, Wicked here are bringing it up against Xiaoma right here in what is their own map pick. Nuke to be next, but man, I don't know. This one could go very quick on that T side.
Yeah, PLX starting over towards this A-bomb site with the op. Might just be doing what we were talking about. Is going to post up on A main. Meanwhile, Andrew with the op of his own is going to be posted up on E-Box, and K2 inside of E-Box finds 2. Wicked in a very quick 1 on 5 now. Is this all on Andrew with that op over towards steps? Not going to find anybody. No CT is going to give a free kill, it looks like. And what was a quick E-Box, maybe B split, gets shut down by Xiaoma.
Yeah, I mean, Andrew firing off a few last-ditch effort shots to maybe find a pick or two, but it's at the end, the time is dwindling and his lifespan is just ticking away as the CTs are closing in. Andrew dodging at least one more for a little bit longer. And I mean, he's got a minute to try and hide. I don't think it's going to happen. Ellis closes it out, and Xiaoma finally put a stop to quite a few rounds in a row here for... What is it?
Xiaoma bounce back.
I think I'm good.
Production is taking care of us so well.
Thank you so much.
We love
Yep.
everybody here doing it for the love of the game. But Wicked call this time out, but Xiaoma, what a bounce back for that. I mean, out here in this first map, this could definitely go to Ancient. I mean, this is probably one of the greater group matchups that we're going to have here towards the end of it. And I mean, Nuke coming up right after the pick of Xiaoma, right? This was this team that was the number 7 seed in advanced playoffs. They kept this going, but Austin's crew, they have really stand through, right? They're just the main team, but they're living above that title. They don't care where you're going to belt them. They're going to wear their own.
Yeah, Wicked, in that last round, they try and hit a nice little tempo change, and I like that idea, right? Like, the idea behind it is they've been slow defaulting, just working some picks. They want to speed up that tempo a little bit, and it's E-Box. But K2 just slamming the door straight shut in their face. Moving into round number 10 here. See,
Matcha Tea kind of good.
going back to what looks like it's going to be another one of these slow defaults. Andrew again getting boosted up.
I feel like eventually that's got to get checked repetitively because they've gone back to that boost quite a few times.
Yeah, I just don't think it's going to be by MJB, especially if they know that it's the op that's getting boosted up there. And this duel over B main falls in favor of K2 as they find a nice early 5-on-4.
Let's holding on the line. Flash to get him to swing. Of course, you got to check on that ring, but nobody on the other side of the camera. Right here, Mason is going to be taking all of this space after the drop from Zeep, so Wicked gonna have to be hitting up this A split in a couple of moments. While I'm on the backs of Austin, the man that usually manages this device, will have to bring it all the way through. Can they stand in tune to 7? Xiaoma still with this man advantage, but MJB will creep and he will just lay you down, Mason. Check it into the next one.
Yeah, I mean, that's not a common angle to normally clear, but he had kind of the heads up that it's been a little too long. They can kind of potentially be anywhere towards that area, so kind of a good heads-up play right there, clearing the angles, playing smart, and it looking like this connector area is going to have a lot of action. Andrew finds one through a smoke. Merkin gets a trade. Austin, of course, trades right back. It is still that man advantage here for Xiaoma as K2 last alive on this site as his teammates are kind of spread into a 1-1-1, but now rotating in for the support. Austin going to plant the bomb, or attempt to tap it once, almost gets the spray. Austin gets the trade. Austin finds one, gets into a 1-on-1. He's down to 9 HP. Ellis has a flash, he has a positioning, but if Austin jiggles a little too wide, almost catches the elbow. Austin getting a little bit of timing and space. The running, the footsteps are out, and Austin clutched it up with the 4K.
So little HP for it. Austin in the clutch. Frack, you got to keep your nerves in the situation right here. When we can be so clean on these engagements, the AK hitting so hard right there. But Frack, in these small rounds, that is going to take the life out of their opponents right here.
Yeah, as soon as Xiaoma thought that they found their footing, they had a man advantage through almost the entirety of that round, and then suddenly Austin with a 1v3 out of nowhere, just swinging the momentum back in the favor of Wicked.
Yeah, I mean, again, that's got to take a lot of whatever wins it. Ooh, that's a lot of damage. Mason actually falls to a op. Ellis with another kill on top of it, down to 12 HP for himself. They are going to be forced back, but they're going to be forced back with a 2-man advantage. MJB does get tagged by something, not really sure where that came from, but they are going to fall back, and the site locked down, no faltering this time, and with a 2-man advantage, maybe a little more comfortable this time for Xiaoma.
Xiaoma still in the cards, and this is where Wicked tried to hit up at the beginning of round number 10, right there into the A main. So the fact that they're going to be double dipping with Andrew means that they feel something here. They want to try and snap upon the Nexa PLX, get Ellis right out of his rhythm, because they may hit it up. This op is going to walk back in and just try to do the business, because they're stood back here. PLX and Ellis, they've had enough business at the beginning of this one. Bring it to their camp now, and the smoke is just going to slam that door right in their face, but try again in another 10 seconds. You might have a shot.
Yeah, Wicked going into this round, again, with a nice little tempo change, wanting to work over towards that A-bomb site where they've historically in this game had a lot of success, but getting shut down by a good setup from these CTs and trying to pop into A. It's Ellis from backside, finding one while getting flashed. Second one gets dropped by PLX, and it's all on Andrew on a 1-on-5 trying to save, gets flanked, and a fourth now for Xiaoma.
Yeah, now we see the money of Wicked starting to tick down just a little bit. They're all around 3 to 4K. We're going to see a buy come through. But into the coming last round, are they going to be shorted any bits of utility? A little bit here and there, but nothing too detrimental. Potentially here as Zeep buys armor with 1900. As actually, this could be a pretty wonky last first half purchase.
Absolutely, and hammering down this 8-4 would be definitely a lot better, but I don't know. You know, the same card that you have pulled, your opponents will be able to get back on the other side, so know that they have been cooking something over here, right? PLX, Frack, you would probably know better than us. What is the bounce back potential of this roster? Been together for a while, what's going to benefit them in situations where it calls upon?
I think just resetting at half, I mean, getting 5 is fairly comfortable for
Definitely.
your CT side, but I think just, you know, they got to take a deep breath, reset. Every round's a new game, right? That's the thing I always tried to tell them was you go into every round like it's a completely new game.
You teach people how to be mentally stable?
Maybe that's what we need sometimes.
Digging down below, man. It's all going to come in suit. Round number 12 is really where you can put the vibe of the next part of this game right into the next half underway, but Andrew, no op this time, going to be on a little lower weaponry. MJB gets out clean with a shot, and Mason going to be checked out early.
Yeah, great opening pick there from wow. MJB, not an A. My brain's shutting off early on here. But surviving on 4 HP, the Tech-9 could quite easily find a kill, and a recovered rifle as well. So we are going to see it kind of be shuffled around the team, making sure somebody has one still flipping around. But the utility for this T side has dwindled down to a single solitary smoke that Wicked really have yet to determine where they even want to place it. I mean, we see them kind of in towards mid area and slowly making their way towards A site, but not too much map control really being taken by them.
Ellis can dance back and forth like he has done in this whole half. A man alone with the AK, but not so alone. Not when he has MJB at his disposal, ready to pull that card whenever. Because E-Box is currently the situation that's going to be awry, and maybe this will go ahead and test the confidence right here. But for Zoom Out, they will not stand any sort of rotation, but Austin will. Brute force, a headshot in the entry, and a quick trade on that. Can't flick back over for MJB. Bomb being planted.
Yeah, great situation here. 3-on-3. Andrew tagged up pretty heavily, but this nade could... Oh, no, it's going to inch away just a little bit. Merkin trying to find some space here, but that smoke is going to close him off for just a little bit longer. The boost coming through, I do like that, but Austin kind of prepared for it, but somehow couldn't connect the spray. The shot through the smoke from PLX, and it is going to be Xiaoma now with the man advantage, inching back onto site.
Absolutely, but that could have ruined the whole round. Austin did not finish his street, and now is going to have to go huge here. Andrew rounding the pillar. Can you, Dosito? The answer is yes! Wicked, they find 8. What a way to blast off into the rest of the half.
Man, oh man, that retake was looking good after PLX found the shot through the smoke, and unfortunately not able to kill the player towards heaven, but what a clutch from Andrew to give Wicked an 8th.
Yeah, that's a confidence booster to close out a first half right there. You have the momentum, you have the hype, you have everything backing you now to close out on map 1. This is, again, Wicked's map pick, so maybe Xiaoma kind of prepared for this. I mean, it was looking close early on, but Wicked are really stepping up and putting their best foot forward here in towards map 1.
Most certainly so. And these pistol rounds going to be this contention as it has been the entire weekend at this point. Right, going back and forth. Wicked had him in this first game, but now Austin's got to bring the pain. Tapping down for the first, creating the space just for the worst. They're going to give up this bomb site right now.
Bomb's going to start going down, and it's going to be protected. Oh, I say that, but Andrew finds the bomb planter through the smoke. Ellis starting to plant it again, and oh, nice shot from Merkin, dropping Zeep, but Austin coming out and killing Ellis and trades back and forth, and it's suddenly all on PLX and all on no one is Wicked. Swarming that B bomb site will win the pistol round, but this is what we were talking about. Xiaoma losing the pistol, but getting the bomb plant. They can get some Galils here and a little bit of momentum, a little bit of wind in their sails. They might be able to start inspiring a comeback here.
I mean, that's just a great opening pistol. I mean, we see Wicked kind of putting one player on that B site on his lonesome, but kind of that retake mentality step that they obviously works so well for them. Pretty flawless retake other than, I think, dropping a single player. And, I mean, now we're going to see a pretty even buy. More, Wicked with 3 M4s and 2 MP9s, and Xiaoma going with a MAC-10, a Galil, a Deagle. So we do see a little bit less of firepower, but should still be fairly even and spread. It's all really just, it's not the gun that you have, it's how you use it.
Yeah, I mean, 3 Galils, a MAC-10, and a Deagle is absolutely more than enough, and you need to win a round, but Ellis with an opener, but a quick trade from Zeep is going to draw it even back into a 4-on-4.
Merkin can go across with it, but still, this journey is going to have to be decided. Wicked, they're really going back and forth, but K2 can't be perfect at this A main. Damage done. This time the trades are going to be favoring Wicked, but maybe for the moment, unless Zeep can come up with something, it'll have to be from the grave. Maybe in round number 15, but in 14 right now, you still have this bomb to be planted. Wicked still with a huge chance as the digits now punched in by PLX.
Yeah, 3 Galils versus 2 M4s, and with only 3 flashes between Mason and Andrew, it's going to be a little bit uncomfortable. They have a lot of angles to clear and not a lot of utility to help them out, and it is going to be the save call coming in, and I like that call. I mean, this CT economy is brutal, man. I mean, saving 2 M4s going into a new round when you're only getting 1,400 can help out on that force back so much. And
now, if you're in a Wicked situation and you have these 2 rifles saved,
Yeah.
you have utility, you have something saved, do you force in and keep going with the force spy battles, or do you just cut your losses and go with the save and just 2 rifles?
I think only getting $1,400 after this round means you gotta force back into it. You're gonna see Logert $1,500, Austin $1,500, Zeep at $2,000, but Mason and Andrew maybe dropping some MP9s here, and I think you gotta force this.
So it's still
There's no
viable
choice.
buy, pretty much.
Yeah, I mean you have 2 M4s, 2 MP9s, maybe a Deagle or something like that, and here we go.
And honestly, with how good the 5.7 is, why the hell not, right?
Yeah, I mean, actually, we see Zeep bringing one out here, and it's not going to be a drop over from Andrew or Mason. It's going to be some util bot.
Saving for an op, maybe.
Yeah, I believe Andrew will be saving for an op here. But 2 Deagles, a 5.7, and 2 M4s, they could definitely pose a threat going into this round.
Oh, for sure. And I mean, when the Deagles hit like this, you know, I remember back to the days of Austin on DU, right? When they were running this thing up in ECL, sometimes, you know, it wasn't going perfectly for them at all times, right? We can tell the truth of the scenario, but right when you have the talent, I believe on that roster, it was Dangerous, Austin, Pug. We can get out the history book. We can tell you exactly what happened on that journey, but I know it was this individual himself, and this is exactly what I am teasing right here with the Huandigs. It's got to come from their captain right here when they need it the most.
K2 with a nice shot onto Zeep in E-Box, and PLX opening one on Logan, but Mason with 2 back in mid. Draws it even into a 2-on-2, and K2 and Ellis. Ellis will best Mason, finally puts him down, and it's all on Austin, the captain himself, in a 1-on-2.
I've seen him clutch this before.
I think we might see, if he does it again, I think we might be seeing it on YouTube here later in the week, but Ellis planting that bomb over on that A site. And both of these players under half HP. K2 with 1 bullet away from death. Ellis only 2, and Austin walking in from A main.
It gets even quieter, and that's where Austin will be the loudest right here. Bomb halfway ticked. Still no kit at this, so honestly, a well-placed nade. Make your scenario yours. Austin knows that this time is going to be his greatest enemy, sending a little bit of a device in, but no dice for it. They're going to find 6 over here. Battling back, it's only going to be a 3-round difference as that bomb explodes.
Yeah, and nice for the CTs to find 3 kills there, but moving into this next round, it's going to have to be a save. It should be a save. Some nice shots out of these CTs. Nice double up from Mason in mid. Nice little spray transfer, but it is going to be Xiaoma finding a 6th.
Yeah, I mean, for what Wicked purchased, I mean, they, granted, lost it. They definitely checked that T-side economy, leaving 2 alive. Left some money on the board, but again, it's keeping them down, not getting it out of hand. We do see, you know, K2 on $300, PLX $100. Ellis is probably the only really, you know, odd one out at $5,000, but everybody else well within either, you know, a double save or full save kind of territory. So Wicked doing, you know, bare minimum, if you're not winning the round, take the guns away, keep that money down, and making just, you know, buying such a tedious task.
Yeah, Wicked, as we move into round number 16 here, are opting for the save. Just going to be a Deagle, a 5.7, and that saved M4. And I want to highlight PLX really quickly, leading the entire server in terms of kills, sitting at a 2.0 KD. Will bring out the off here in round 16 on this T side of Anubis.
Right, this is a guy that's probably going to be a lot higher across maybe, you know, your crosshair placement statistics, the time to damage. We can see it all with Leadify here, one of the proud sponsors of Fragadelphia. And right now, when you have a game this close, and with so many players playing up above, that's where you can really see this difference made. It's right here, Merkin holding the line. Obviously, the hero has already fallen. They're going to be needing a new one in this city, but unfortunately, they're going to have to wait one more round. PLX putting everybody else in the ground, and Wicked, they're going to have to wait one more.
A statistic I'm excited to see is K2's headshot percentage. It feels like I watched this guy get every kill with a headshot, it seems.
Man,
Check PC.
can't be stopped, dude.
Can't be too careful out here, especially not in the CS do-si-do that we do have. You know, it can do what maybe the other thing possibly can't. You know, we won't say it, but absolutely where we need it to come through is where Wicked stand up here with this weekend and really rip this cap off. They had a clean victory versus Team Skyline here in Group B just an hour or so ago, but now you're back. They are an Ancient this time, and you're just bringing it through because right here through the smokes, Frack, things can just get flipped off right here into mid. The flashes rain through, nobody home.
Yeah, slow defaulting, taking some mid space, and meanwhile Zeep getting a little bit inquisitive over towards B main with the assistance of Austin. Not going to spot Ellis here, who's a little bit tucked away. They will fall back off of that information. Let's see how their rotates play off. They smoke E-Box, and I believe Zeep is going to start rotating as two players find themselves in Temple. Merkin comes out on top of that duel, and it's going to be a B split, and it's all going to be on Austin.
Standing out of that smoke all in. I don't know if you can really get into a closer scenario, but they get over and get that bomb plant started.
Yeah, Austin just still trying to maintain this connector control. MJB gonna try and shut him out of it. He's gonna find one. It's in Austin out. It's a 5-on-3. And if I'm Wicked, the money's not there, and you see them backpedaling, getting that space up and giving up the site. And it is gonna be Xiaoma closing that gap down to a single round now. Xiaoma not even having to sacrifice any players, keeping 5 alive, and they are really starting to roll together these rounds. And Wicked haven't had much an answer for what Xiaoma just taking that space, getting those early picks. Wicked, what looked untouchable early on in the first half, have now started to show some cracks and crumbling a little bit here.
On the other side, right into the meat grinder at the end. Xiaoma at least get away with taking Logert out of the round. That one's going to be expensive, but you look right back to back to back. They are here, Frack, and building up a bank account, so they're going to lose 2 men at the end, but maybe it's all worth it to get this investment out here.
Yeah, we talked about it, losing that pistol, but getting the bomb plant and winning the round after. 4 in a row, they have the momentum on their side, and Wicked only saving 2 guns, will opt to save in this round by some upgraded pistols, but make sure that they can get a full buy once the scores are... I don't want to jump the gun here, cast a curse, but definitely guns are favoring Xiaoma.
Could say that for sure. And Mason, he wants to be the difference maker here. Andrew has been in the past, but I'm not sure he's going to be too quickly out to dodge. Jeep can try, but push back for it. Right now, they are wasting no time. Mason, a fast track, and Hodder into this one. Almost doubles down, but it's Wicked put out of another.
Yeah, with no kit here, should just be another save for Andrew on that up. Too expensive to really want to give up here. Logert can try and find a gun here in the smoke, or maybe an exit frag or 2, but it is going to be dead level at 9 apiece here on Anubis.
Man, could you ask for a better first map out here at the top of Group B? I mean, this is exactly what we were looking for, but geez, I mean, I think that the experience and the know-how and the chemistry of this lineup with this top advanced team, okay, not enough time on the clock, but enough to make you double check. At a tie game right here.
Oh, there we go. Andrew making sure it's watching his back end. The op is what was needed. Logert at least recovering a rifle as well. So we're going to see something of a buy here for Wicked. It would have been good regardless, but just depending on how deep they would have had to go with the utility. I mean, Xiaoma really mounting that comeback because it was, what, 5-9, 9-5 at one point, I think it was. And, I mean, it's just been a steady, steady increment after the opening pistol. That's why, you know, sometimes opening pistol is great and all, but if you lose it right after, you kind of get an even harder reset instead of just losing that initial pistol. That can be such a shift in momentum. It has obviously thrown Wicked off course here. Austin decides to put them right back on as he looks for a triple. Signs the double, though, and it's back into a 5-on-3. Wicked are looking to take that lead right back.
Xiaoma now going to rip off this Band-Aid, and they can in the bomb site if they want to remain hidden right here. The double M's going back-to-back. Merc and MJB putting in the work, and now you have this 3v3 scenario. Check on E-Box in a couple of seconds, because there's your flank. Mason gone down in the meantime, and now this Molly will catch them up for the moment. But what is this? No plant, no scenario. They're going to be caught out of dodge. Gotta go right here. That bomb is going to be stuck in a hard place.
That bomb stuck E-Box, and it's all left on Andrew, who gets the first in this 1-on-3 attempt. PLX scoped up. Neither Opera wants to move, and it will be PLX who unscopes first. Drops a flash in the face of Andrew, but Andrew hits a shot full blind, but it is MJB who comes out on top.
Great attempt, though. I mean, that.
Oh,
there's
wow.
still
Yeah, no
time
kidding.
to rotate around, but I mean, the way that bomb was really positioned, the way it was dropped was just rough. Merkin with a great entry there, finding that shot and positioning on Austin MJB as well. The trades were looking good, and it started off strong for Wicked, but obviously fell to pieces as soon as that site fell. And I mean, Andrew put up a good shot, got into a one-on-one, but it's hard with an op to take a two-man swing.
Yeah, he almost hit that collateral there. We see it in the replay. Both those teams almost line up, and here, Andrew giving Wicked a much-needed man advantage, dropping PLX.
Uh-oh.
Lost something in there. Be able to recover it, but K2 now hitting up A main once again. He's got his crack right here, and Logard has actually gotten him down quite low. So Molly out for the moment, but repositioning and transitioning. Can't get out, but the kill's still going to be dealt. Man advantage collected for Wicked.
Yeah, Wicked sitting in a comfortable 4-on-3 with a good amount of util. Still having 2 mollies, 1 smoke, and some HEs and flashes here. The minute on the clock. Xiaoma opting to set up in towards E-Box. Maybe might be an A split actually as we see Bomb start rotating back. We'll be joining Ellis in walking around. Okay, MJB will actually get caught out. That's the bomb dropped over towards Boats, and Mason with all of this control with the bomb. Will drop a second. Merkin goes down as well, and it's all on Ellis coming through Temple and Zeep.
Jeez.
That's 10.
I don't know, man. It's back and forth for it. 10 is the spot that they land, and Andrew starting us off just as he exited. His constant op in the side right here will never try to go away. In Wicked, when you saw them giving away this lead, you knew at some point they were going to take it right back. Finding their signature on the CT side will now force this timeout in a chance where you only have so few. You got to make sure that you get them out and use them strategically. Now more than ever, in this tie game going into round number 21, MJB's crew will reconsider this.
And look at this. Xiaoma losing a round, instant timeout. They don't want to allow Wicked to build up any momentum in the dying rounds of this first map here. They want to just set a game plan, maybe a set piece, something they've dry run maybe dozens of times, something that they have drilled to a T. And here we go into round number 21 as the freeze time starts ticking down.
That slow pan right into the eyes of that soulless T-side player there for Xiaoma. And it is going to be all tied up. And, you know, it started off strong in the first half. Then it started swinging the way of Wicked, and now we're right back where we started, tied up again. And you know what? It's always better to see a tied up map 1 than an absolute blowout like we've seen prior to. It's just more enjoyable. Less sleepy of a map.
Let this group breathe a little bit. Maybe that's what it exactly stands for, but some of the best competition so far. And Austin, one of the largest names at this tournament this weekend, has got to be called upon in E-Box right now and hit that thing out of the park. There's one man that's going to be on the other side of this with Wicked, really keeping tabs all the way towards the other side of this B-bomb site, because through this first minute, you have them placing another chip down. But Mason, oh my goodness, what a push this is.
He's gotten away with that a few times now.
Doesn't even get punished for it. Right down below, MJB does not even realize how much space he has just taken for free. I don't even think that was off of a flash right there.
Mason just confident with that timing, will be swinging up E-main, finds his, but now gets tagged down to 12 HP. Shouldn't be able to get away, and MJB will finish him off. And it's a 4-on-4 with low time. 30 seconds on the clock. It's Zeep here towards Dark, finds the first on to K2. Quick trade from Merkin, and Merkin extending the lead as it's a 3-on-2 now going into the post plant.
Yeah, this is going to be another hard set to crack back into with an op on to Andrew. We've seen him be absolutely amazing so far with you. He gets a shot towards MJB, he does. Finds another towards Merkin, goes wide with it, gets a trade, but Loger gets into a one-on-one. Merkin, Loger, AK, M4. Merkin trying to get the flank here. Mike, the timing. Loger takes the fight, and Merkin prevails. Xiaoma Gaming take back the lead now, 11-10.
Very, very nice. Mason, he had to revive some sort of life back in. right? You get that first round back on this second half to get your team into this game, but then you got to go further, and it's a risk reward. He does get rewarded, but it was just so risky that even after he got out, he was still punished. But man, they even got to pump the brakes after that one. Make sure that they can bring down this elbow to try and put themselves in a position to take this map number 1.
Man, oh man, I'm getting some deja vu. We saw Austin just in the first half with a ring around the rosy to win a clutch too. And I mean, both of these sides have had a fast E-Box play that got shut down by a 2K and E-Box. And oh man, this is turning into a very, very competitive first map. Round number 22, Xiaoma Gaming at 11, Wicked at 10. And Wicked opting to invest everything they have into this round. It's going to be 2 MP9s, 2 M4s, and an op back out on Andrew. And Andrew has been a big difference maker for this Wicked side so far, finding a lot of these nice early man advantages with this gun.
Something that I don't think we really glanced at too much is just the scoreboard itself, because I mean, we look at it, there's no real standout star. Merkin's doing great, don't get me wrong, 18 and 12, but it's not like the usual, like, oh, this man's dropping 25 plus kills now. This is just good all around, everybody performing on both teams to make it a good map 1 here. And I mean, that means that the teams here are, I would say, as balanced as possible currently.
Yeah, and man, are we lucky to be on the couch for this one.
Absolutely.
The casting couch.
Something going on here, and really through it, Mason will stand up, and the man that just tried to canoe it over towards the Bravo bomb site will just try and stand up. K2 other side will try and flip this coin as MJB. Now, even stuck in the smoke, Mason eliminated, and they go 2 for 2 in the A main. See, I think that bullet just got blocked by that MP9 flying through the air. Still alive, still breathing somehow.
But Andrew coming from CT, unable to get one. Merkin drops him, and it's going to be a save call.
Oh, Lord. You hear the cheering. They know that it's conceded out of this. Put the bomb plant in when you can, but they'll just bring it down. Brute force style frack. They have them right on the chopping block. They have that chef's knife in the air, ready to bring it down for 13.
That B main entrance area, it went T side player, CT player, T side player, CT player. And it was 1 kill trade, 1 kill trade, 1 kill trade. And that just means that someone dropped a smoke somewhere, and there was just a lot of confusion, which obviously T's can take full advantage of with the trades. And, you know, if it goes 1 for 1, the T's will always have the better of a 1 for 1.
Sheesh, and now this AWP walking in. PLX finds the tag. Zeep left at 17 HP, but no kill found. Acceleration into the site. MJB and K2 crack it open. It is looking like a good position for Xiaoma as they, off the back of the nade, find a 3v2 post plant. Andrew with the MP9 in towards E-Box, might have to walk through the smoke, and Merkin waiting for him on the other side. Andrew creeping up, not wanting to run directly through it. Start coming through, and Merkin finds the kill. Ready for the second, and Merkin will go down to Mason. Mason in a 1-on-3. Finds the first. Creeping up. Gets dropped by PLX. And that's Xiaoma. 13 to 10 on map 1.
Perfectly getting out of Ancient. It was Wicked on that T side when it mattered first. They ripped right off. This is this matchup at the top of this group. In B, going to be one of the most competitive ones getting out here in the playoffs first. You want to be that first. That can be you if you go through 2. But right there, back and forth, it looked like Wicked's map. And in my opinion, when you are the team that gets it up first, might get your mind a little bit wary going into the second map. The rest of the series is very doable, right? Ancient, if we need it, I do believe we are going to Nuke next, if I am not mistaken, but wow, what a series to go right back and start off with a huge banger, right? Yeah, it is going to be the pick of Nuke that's going to be up next. We'll see if they can bring down the elbow right there. Obviously, Wicked going to be losing out on theirs, and that's just another reason why that was theirs to win.
Yeah, and it's really brutal. They win the pistol round, go up 9-4, and then lose the force buy back, and a lot of saves coming in for them on their CT side, and rightfully so. They couldn't really compete in some of those 3v4, 3v5 post-plant situations, and even saving those guns into a lot of those rounds, the momentum really built up for Xiaoma, and they were able to snowball it into a map 1 victory.
Yeah, I mean, we saw a lot of early on clutches there for Wicked, which set that pace early on for that good, successful first half. Leading into it, we saw flip-flop. Wicked clutching up quite a few times as well. I want to say it was a 1v3, 1v2s here and there. But, after a while, it just becomes so expensive to try and maintain that weaponry on the CT side. It wears every team down regardless. And, you eventually just crumple. And that's kind of what we saw. Good matches, good map one, rounds being traded up. And I think at most we've seen, a 13-10 scoreline is still pretty solid. Opening pistol or, a round here or there just needs to get traded, and you really have an overtime potential.
Yeah, playing 23 of 24 rounds there, going pretty much the distance on map 1, and we got to see how Wicked are going to bounce back into map 2. I mean, that's an unfortunate loss for them, but new map, new game.
No, certainly so, and I think right before we hopped in the series, one of the things that you were sort of talking about, Frack, with a team that gets this up first, right? You go in to the second map, right? Maybe you can get those rounds off on the board if it's really not close. Right here, both of these teams are going to be warmed up and going at Nuke just as toughly they brought it to Ancient. I mean, this one can go back and forth, sure, but you're going to have sort of the same dynamic with, of course, Nuke going to be one of the, you can go with the cliche, it's going to be CT-sided, right? You're going to have this balance out here and going to be a conversation for it. But as the map pick, this is where you have to close it into. Ancient is free pickings for a map 3. You do not leave this up to a decider. This is anybody's ball game if it goes all the way there, but it has to be 2.
Yeah, I think you have the momentum after map 1. You got to close it on Nuke. And Nuke for this roster has historically been one of their better maps, and they've been playing it for 12, 13, 14, 15 seasons, and hasn't changed.
It's existed pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man.
So, but
I think Nuke's going to come down to who can have that op steadily out on their CT side. Because they can at least control half side of that map. Outside, red, secret, all that and above really needs to be locked down if you really want a solid Nuke map.
Yeah, I think Andrew versus PLX is going to be a very, very fun duel for us to be watching here, both on the casting couch and for everybody who's joining us from home. And man, Nuke, we got to see. I'm interested to see how these teams rotate, adjust throughout their gameplay and what their plans are going into their T side.
Definitely, but we have a lot more to be done this afternoon. Like, I think we mentioned this as the games were on. You couldn't see it here, but you have these teams that are throwing it back, and right here, this is what we were waiting for. We can check out the Leadify stats after this game, and this is what we were talking about, right? Andrew going to be up there with the rest, but I think specifically the individual we were pointing out was Ellis. He's going to be towards that bottom of the scoreboard anyway, but look at the crosshair percentage. You know some of these guys are just so accurate, but Merkin, the man that does it all, time to damage, it doesn't matter, the crosshair placement, his Leadify rating is almost touching the ceiling at 9.
Man, oh man, an 8.99 Leadify rating with 102 ADR, 24 and 13. That's a good stat line. Meanwhile, over on the Wicked side, Andrew leading the charge for Wicked with a 5.61 Leadify rating, 12 and 13. Good crosshair placement, but no surprises there on the op. And a fast time to damage.
Absolutely, and I mean, these Leadify stats can be so leading, but the show going to be on the road here in just a couple of moments. We got Nuke underway. This is CS2 presented by Fragadelphia here in Philly at the TAPS Esports Center. We got Nuke coming up here in just a couple of seconds. Don't go anywhere.
You're in there right away. I mean, you just open up the app to get in there and just put your name in. It's very easy, very fast.
The audio has been really crisp the entire time. I haven't had any issues with it. There's no delay because I can just see that there's no delay. So it's been super great using something like that that's like as an alternative to the other apps that are out there.
The low latency is good. We haven't had an issue with comms yet. Just no issues as far as perfect.
Really low latency, like it hasn't crashed, so it's been really easy to use. Like I've heard no complaints about it so far.
The peer-to-peer communication is really nice.
It seems like a big priority is having super low latency, which we can definitely tell in our matches.
It's so much better than Discord because you can literally feel like they just are instantly getting my comms basically.
I really like how easy it was to set up. I'm able to hear my teammates just super crisply, and it's just been a very easy process, really nice to use.
It's super fast. I mean, I can't even tell when my teammates are talking next to me. I can't hear them outside the headset because I'm already hearing them inside. It's great.
There's 2 at the door, 1 window.
Okay, flashing. Got the 1 at the window.
All right, got the 2 at the door, running through in 3, 2, 1.
Yes! Nice! Let's go,
Ooh, dancing in
Everybody,
the moonlight.
everybody's warm and bright.
Don't let latency ruin a good moment.
Dancing in the moonlight.
Sonics, the low latency voice chat gamers deserve.